Good morning. Happy Easter. I'm out on my super long morning run, so we'll see how that goes because it is a 4 mile run and I'm feeling not motivated for it, which is not a good thing at all, but we'll see how it goes. So this is my spring break vlog. So my goal for this spring break is to finish my Creative Infinity scarf, which is a pattern by Rachel O'Connor. And it's an Advent style scarf, but I've been working on it for months and it just seems to take a really long time and I don't know why. And I thought it would be a major stash buster, but it's not. So I don't know what's happening. Yeah, but my goal is to use 20 mini skeins this week. I have used 0 so far, but it's Sunday. So depending on if you count the week starting on a Sunday or starting on a Monday, I'm still doing all right. So that's the goal. I'll take you with me as I attempt to finish all these mini skeins, mostly because my birthday is on Friday and I know I'll be getting more skeins of yarn. So I'm trying to balance out the skeins of yarn in my life because I'm back up at a much higher number than I wanted to, which something must be happens every March and April because I do super good January and February and then I hit the skids in March and April and I don't make any progress. I think it might be the projects that I select. Truly, that's what I think is my problem right now is I thought one project was going to be a stash buster and it's not. So that's what's happening. And all of my projects keep using partial skeins, so I'm not actually using up all my yarn. So I don't know how that's gonna work out either. But on the docket today is I'm running. Then I'm going to, my family and I, are going to my parents' house for Easter. And then I think we're just coming home. And I've got more things to work on, I think, on our shed. We are building a shed in our backyard, and it is a very big undertaking. But yes, I'll see you later. Thursday of break, but really, it feels like I'm spending the whole day cleaning. Because that's just what it feels like for, I guess, for teachers on breaks. That you gotta get your house back together, everything back together, or you can really like relax, and it doesn't really feel like break yet. But I know I'm lucky to actually even get a break, but still, it doesn't feel like break yet because I have a mountain of chores to do. That happy moment when the dryer is not finished, so I don't have to do the next load of laundry, except now I have to move on to the dishwasher. But if I finish the dishwasher before the dryer finishes, I actually get some crafting time. So I'm playing this little like race against myself, that if the timers go off on any of our appliances, then I have to do the chore. But if they're not done yet, I don't have to do the chore. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm like far away because I'm.
All right, it's Tuesday of spring break, and I have used, this will be number 6 of the mini skeins, which is actually doing pretty great. So I'm super pleased with how that's going because it wasn't going well. And it's mostly because the mini skeins are only 10 grams and they're worsted weight. So I'm going through them super fast, but sometimes you just gotta go for the low hanging fruit. So I am trying to untangle this one and put it in Chaley's magic knot ball because she, of course, is like 50 years ahead of me on the magic knot ball. We're supposed to do 525 grams and she's already at like 380 something because she started before I did because I didn't have last year. I've been behind. I've been behind for like a year now. So in being behind, I still just remain behind. And that's not great, but that's okay. So I have 2 Etsy orders that I need to pack and send out today. There is a sale running in our Etsy shop from now until the 24th of April that it is 25% off basically our older bags. I'm trying to cycle through, clear out some of our older merchandise, bring in some new stuff. By bring in, I mean Dad and I sew. Like we don't, we're not buying and reselling, if it sounded like that. So I'm magic knotting into the magic knot ball, and my other goal is to finish my creative infinity scarf this week because it's been on the needles forever and I'm over it. Oh gosh, this is tangled. This is why you use yarn cozies for your own stuff. I didn't use a yarn cozy on this one, and look how badly it's tangled. I should have used my own product, which is silly. We do make yarn cozies for like 10 gram and 20 gram minis as well. They don't sell super well, probably because nobody else has this problem of perpetual tangle that I do, but I do have the pattern for that if that's something that you're looking for or interested in. I can usually make it out of fabric scraps that I've got, so check out the Etsy store for that. But my goal to stay on track with this magic knot ball and not have to like just put in chunks of skeins, which I've had to do in past Decembers when Charlie's like, the ball, and I'm like, ooh, I'm not ready. My goal is to add 50 grams to the ball every month. So the ball needs 500, so that's 10 months basically. It's probably like 11. So that gives me a 1 month buffer. So theoretically, this ball should be done by November. And it's all fingering weight, mostly indie dyed. Because we do put in like knit picks, which is big box. But most, like, I'd say mine's like 85 to 90% indie dyed. And the knit picks, honestly, it's Felici. Like, I don't really use all that much other knit picks because I really like the self-striping. So I finished the pufferfish. It's so cute. It was so fast. I finished it at Lottie's ice skating lesson last night, and then I sewed it on. Does anybody else do that thing with amigurumis? And you're like, oh, you've made all the pieces, and all you have to do is like assemble it and sew it, and then you're like, oh, I can totally finish this in 5 minutes, and then it takes you an hour to sew the eyes on and weave the ends in. Hello, love.
Why are you in here?
I'm untangling my ball of yarn.
Will we come back out?
Yeah, once the ball's untangled.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. That was Eleanor. They are doing bead projects. Like those beads that you can iron. They're doing those. Lottie's making an octopus. Eleanor is making a tractor because Eleanor wants to be a truck driver when she can have her driver's license. She's really into trucks. And the garbage person, or when the garbage truck shows up, it's like the best day, which is tomorrow. So she's really hoping that that's something she wants, something she'll be able to do, which is great because I don't like to drive. So if my kids want to learn how to drive, as when in California, you can get your permit at 15 and a half. So that's only 12 and a half more years of me having to drive for Eleanor. Well, I guess Lottie's older. Lottie's almost 5 and a half, so only 10 more years of Gabs having to drive. Nobody wants Gabs to drive. Shaylee always drives. If you've seen our vlogs any other time, Shaylee's always driving. Gabs is always riding shotgun because I get car sick. That too. I know. I'm such a passenger princess. Let's weigh this magic knot ball. It is 189 grams. Head, mouth for scale. It's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna print some Etsy orders. If I get my act together, I will show you what these people ordered because it's cute. Okay, time to pack orders. We have a couple different orders that came in yesterday, so I am prepping them for today, and I thought I would show you and chat with you what we're shipping out because I always am so interested in what people pair together and what they're interested in. So this order, this customer picked 3 bags. Hello, dear. Yeah. This customer picked 3 bags, and they picked this super.
Somebody needs help.
Those are my girls playing. I don't know how other YouTubers do it without children's noise, but this is what my life is. So,
Mommy, I need your help.
okay, hold on. So they weren't actually needing anything. They were just playing. So this customer has ordered this really cute jack-o'-lantern bag, which I think is cute kind of for like Halloween in May. And they also got this really cute fall, like fall items bag with like pumpkin pies, trucks, stuff like that. So feels like really nice for apple picking. I'm clipping my rogue threads off of this, which I do for every product we send out. So and then they also did took advantage of our mystery bag. So I have a mystery bag where it's like heavily discounted, and you get a combo of things. You could get like Cozies, or you could get a large project bag, or you could get a DPN cover. It's basically a grab bag, but what you get is a mystery. So I can't actually show you too much of it. I'm sure you can see it at the bottom of the screen. But because what if the customer's watching and I don't want to ruin the surprise for them? But basically what this customer is getting is a small project bag and like a bonus notions pouch that I don't actually sell in the shop. So it's a little bit extra, and they coordinate with each other. So it's usually the items that either I have duplicates of, or something that I was experimenting with. There's nothing wrong with the bags, but they are heavily discounted. So like this small project bag, they're getting it for $10 instead of 14, and then they're getting a little bit of a bonus item too that goes with it. That's just it is what it is. So that's our first order that we're sending. I don't have a bunch of space in this office. I share with my husband, and you can see our laundry and closet with all my clothes, and what else, and the gift wrap, and like as you do. But we are in the process of building me a shed, so hopefully sometime soon you will see have a dedicated craft space. Okay, second order. This customer ordered a very cute, like it's a palette, right? Which I really like. They ordered this large avocado bag, which I do not have the drawstrings on, but will put on before I send it. So super cute. I think avocados are like a spring summer food, but it obviously could be any time of year. I just think of them in the spring and the summertime, kind of like avocado toast and brunch and those millennial type things. And so they have this large project bag. Large project bags are, I find I can knit a sweater out of them and like have this game, so that's fine. And then they've got this really cute like palette going on where it's kind of similar. These are a jar of flowers. So I think they went really cute together. Both of these prints are still in the shop if you're interested though. But I'm gonna go run some drawstrings. Running some drawstrings right now. My husband usually cuts all of the drawstrings for me before I send them out, but he hasn't been doing that lately. Mostly because we've been working on this giant she shed and I haven't been sewing as much because I've got a lot of inventory, which is great. So I haven't needed to. And then I use my gigantic hemostats to run the drawstrings, which is like the easiest way I have found to run drawstrings. I used to run them with a safety pin, and that still works. And I still do that for the cozies because the hemostats don't curve very nicely. But my old boss, before I was a teacher and Shaylee was a admissions counselor, we used to work for Fig Tree and Company, which is a quilt company. And we worked there all through high school. And then basically I worked there through high school, left for college, and Shaylee kind of took my job because she's 5 years younger than I am. So, and her boss, I don't know what you use hemostats for in quilting. I think it's for turning the edging of like binding or something like that when you cut it on the bias. She had these, and we had to run drawstrings, or we had to do something with them, and I bought some when we started this business, bought some for Dad too, because it really makes it way easier to do this process. Because I find that the safety pin, sometimes if you push too hard on it, it opens up on you, or you hurt yourself, or pin gets bent, or all these different things. But oops, I think I missed a thread here. So that's my pro tip. I don't really have a bunch of sewing tips. I'm not big on sew talk, I guess, crafting talk, TikTok for sewing, and that. But I have learned a couple of tips and tricks along the way. I do teach sewing to my students as well, mostly for costume design. So I do have, it's the great feeling at the end of the year when the students, I'm like, okay, we need capes. And they just pull out their sewing machines, start threading them, and go cut out the patterns themselves. Beginning of the school year, it's always like, oh, I'm trying to teach 42 kids how to sew and it's not going so great. And we have to sew, like, they learn the whole process, threading the machine, bobbin. I think the hardest part for them really is getting the thread through the eye of the needle. That if you're not used to that kind of hand-eye coordination, it's a big learning curve. So once they get that portion handled, then I think the rest of it is kind of smooth sailing. So I've run the drawstrings for this. You've gotten a very chatty Gabs. Now you see how long it takes me to run orders. Yes, dear.
Water.
I know Daddy forgot his water.
Can I put this?
Not yet. Let me do this one. All right, gotta run.